How do you make money in property if you have very little money, or maybe you might have next to no money? Well, here's the fact. If you don't know how to make money without money, chances are you're not going to be able to make money even if you have money. So if you have this crazy windfall and you make $1 million by hitting the lotto and you got lucky, chances are you're not going to be able to turn that $1 million into $2 million because you've never known how to make money anyway. So I want to share with you on this video 2 simple strategies that I personally have used myself and my students also use on how to actually go about making money in property even if you have next to no money to your name or very little money to even start off with. Now, number 1 is called OPM. Now, OPM stands for other people's money. Just because you don't have money yourself doesn't mean you can't learn the skill set of identifying which property can make money and then working with an investor that actually has the money to then fund and fulfill the deal for you. Now, of course, if you're able to find that particular deal, that investor is going to pay you something for it. I know that's going to be the case for myself. If you found a deal that could make $100,000 but you didn't have the money to purchase, I would happily give you 20, 30, 40, maybe even 50,000 for that particular deal, so then I can go ahead and then make 50 grand off that property myself. So there's many ways that you can actually do things, but the first thing you've got to do is actually start getting educated and start taking action and understanding that you don't necessarily need to have money for yourself to actually go off and make money. So that's first off, is using OPM, which is again called other people's money. In the world of real estate, is also called joint venturing, so partnering up with someone that have the funds, where you go find the relevant property and the investor may also get you to do the work, such as managing the project renovation should there be any renovations needed for that particular property. So, I've always agreed and understood that 50% of something is still a whole lot better than 100% of nothing. So partner up with people, network with the relevant people, because ultimately, if you have enough people in your network that have money, you're going to be able to actually use your skill set, even though you don't have money yourself, and identify the right properties, or any other skill sets for that matter, and then have someone actually fund that investment so you can still get a slice of the profits for yourself. That's strategy number 1. Now, strategy number 2 is actually called no money down. And it's actually the idea of buying a property or putting it under a conditional offer or an option to buy, all whilst during that next 2 weeks, because most properties, when you put an offer in, you get a bit of time to do your homework to figure out if it's a property that you actually want to move forward or not with. That is called your due diligence period. I call that your homework period. Now at this point, guess what? You haven't even put down a deposit on that particular property. So all you've done is presented an offer of you saying, maybe I might pay you this money, but give me 10 days or give me 2 weeks to actually do some homework and come back to you if I actually want to go ahead or not. And if I do want to go ahead, at that point, I'll give you the deposit, but if I don't want to go ahead, I'm going to walk away. Now guess what? During that period, when you've actually put it under contract for that 2 weeks, you are actually able to go off and find someone else that might have the money for the property deal that you're looking at. And of course, if the deal is able to be profitable or there is some margin in it, you're able to actually have this other buyer say, well, I'll tell you what, I'll pay you for that deal, I'll buy it off you, I'll buy that contract off you, and I'll take over the contract and I'll pay you for it, for finding me the deal. Now, I've had that happen where I might pay someone, $20,000, and I'll say, I'll take over that particular contract because I can make 50 grand on it, so I'm still 30,000 up after paying you 20 grand all the same. So that's one way to actually buy and sell something you don't even particularly own, because that you can actually utilize what we call the no money down strategy. Now, a lot of people actually use this for things like cars. I have a friend that sells cars, and effectively, I might give him $8,000 for a brand new car, off which he'll go off and order the car in Japan for about 6 grand, keeping the $2,000 margin. People do this for different items all the time, but when it comes to property, people tend to think and assume that it's a lot more difficult than it really is. And here's me telling you that it's actually a lot simpler than even selling a car. Now, I can honestly say this because I have actually bought and sold a car before, and that actually required a huge amount of paperwork. It required a lot of time, it required a lot of effort cleaning the car and actually putting all the details on it and everything else, and in essence it was probably even harder selling a car than it was buying and selling a home. And I'm serious when I say this, because buying and selling a property, there's only one contract you deal with, and the lawyers actually handle the paperwork for you. Okay, so if you've ever wanted to understand how you can buy and sell property using other people's money or even no money down at all, of Of course, it is a lot better if you have something behind your wallet, something to back you, because it does mean you have more options to play with. But if you've ever been interested in property and wanting to potentially utilize these options, then get in contact with us to see how we can help. That's it from me, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Take care.